GeorgeAAkerlof, Animal Spirits, How Human Psychology Drives the Economy, and Why It Matters for Global Capitalism. Venture into the intriguing realm of animal spirits as we explore the ways in which human emotions and psychology govern our economic decisions. GeorgeAAkerlof delves into the enormous yet often overlooked impact that irrational choices and non-economic motives have on the economy. Subverting the notion of rational self-interest, Akerlof demonstrates the influence of fairness, confidence, belief, and stories on economic performance. Expect to discover how market crashes, moral hazard, and even unemployment are driven by these powerful influences that conventional economic theories often neglect.
Emotions in economic decision-making. Economic performance is largely mental, with emotions playing a vital role in decision-making. Previous economists have ignored the impact of irrational behavior in economic decisions, resulting in massive dislocation. Rational self-interest does not account for unemployment, as individuals do not always make rational choices in pursuit of their economic interests. John Maynard Keynes argues that investments such as building a mine or constructing an office building cannot be made through rational calculation alone, as it requires animal spirits. Overall, emotions and non-economic motives play a crucial role in economic decision-making. The power of confidence in financial decisions. The word confidence is often used in business literature, and it can mean different things to different people. Economists view confidence as a predictor of a prosperous future, but common usage emphasizes trust and belief. Jack Welch, former CEO of General Electric, favored gut instinct over analytical projections when making business decisions. The 2008 economic crisis illustrated how the absence of confidence paralyzed credit markets and undermined economic policies. Fairness plays a significant role in financial decisions, affecting perceptions of confidence and cooperation. People are willing to work against their rational self-interest to punish what they see as unfair, often leading to unemployment. While neoclassical economic theory disregards fairness, economic experiments show the impact of fairness on financial decisions. Confidence in financial decisions is not solely based on rational predictions, it comes and goes, influenced by various factors such as perceptions of fairness. The influence of moral values on capitalism. Capitalism produces what people are willing to buy, including shoddy merchandise and illusory securities. The lack of moral values in the securities markets has been a significant contributor to recent economic crises. Corporate CEOs and fund managers ignore crooked accounting and inappropriate investments as long as people are willing to buy them. Crises happen when moral hazard undermines confidence. The 1980s savings and loan crisis and the Enron scandal resulted from risky investments and sly accounting practices. The subprime mortgage crisis occurred because lenders made loans to people who could not repay them, but sold the loans anyway. During securitization, rating, and sales, participants downplayed the real risks, eroding confidence and deepening recessions. The conventional economic theory lacks principles regarding animal spirits, rendering crises unpredictable. The illusion of money. In the book, The Money Illusion, Irving Fisher's anecdote about a woman's $50,000 bond portfolio remained unchanged despite inflation, reveals irrational money illusion as an animal spirit. Economists like Paul Samuelson believed that workers bargained for nominal wages, but Milton Friedman argued that workers were not subject to money illusion. While workers expect wage negotiations to protect them against inflation, debt covenants, wage contracts, and corporate financial statements often fail to include inflation adjustments. This creates a dilemma as people resist wage cuts when prices drop, even at the cost of their livelihood. Thus, money illusion does exist to some extent. The power of stories. Stories are the backbone of the way people think and live. Literary critics have found that most stories follow a few simple patterns, essential to human beings. Strong marriages, political leaders, and even stock market bubbles have all been shaped by the power of stories. However, Conventional economists ignore the impact of stories and instead focus solely on quantitative facts. This summary suggests that perhaps stories themselves could be the pivotal fact in shaping our lives. By inspiring confidence and connecting with people, a strong narrative has the power to change the course of history. The two American Depressions. The book discusses the two severe depressions in the U.S., one in the 1890s, and the other in the 1930s. Both depressions had similar components: a pervasive money illusion, a collapse in confidence, and stories of corruption and unfairness. The 1890s depression saw the rise of William Jennings Bryan's call for an expansionary and inflationary monetary policy, while the Great Depression had stories of market manipulation after the stock market crash in 1929. The book compares and contrasts the two events to show similar patterns that led to economic downfall. Beyond open market operations. The role of central banks as lenders of last resort. Central banks may not have as much power as we think. Their traditional role in managing the money supply limit their ability to respond to economic crises. An exclusive focus on open market operations overlooks the fact that people can satisfy their transaction needs in other ways. The real power of central banks lies in their ability to act as a lender of last resort during times of crisis. The U.S. Federal Reserve, for example, provided liquidity to prevent the failure of Bear Stearns. This power is crucial and often overshadowed by conventional thinking about central banks' roles. Rebuilding trust in times of crisis. The 2008 to 2009 economic crisis caused a massive credit crunch as a result of a new financial system filled with securitizations and derivatives. This led to a loss of confidence and trust in the system. To address this, policymakers need a credit target, in addition to conventional monetary and fiscal measures. The target should be the amount of credit in the economy at full employment. Policymakers can expand credit through Federal Reserve discount operations, capital investment in banks, and GSE lending from entities like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. These measures aim to rebuild trust in the financial system and address the credit crunch. Unemployment explained beyond wages. Despite the conventional belief that lowering wages would lead to more jobs, the efficiency wage theory argues that employers pay more to maintain productivity and fairness. This theory states that lower wages may lead to resentment and lower productivity. Labor economist John Dunlop discovered that delivery truck drivers were paid varying wages based on what they delivered, indicating that skill or education were not the only factors impacting pay. Another study also found significant wage differences unrelated to skills. These findings suggest that unemployment cannot be explained solely through wages. Shaping saving decisions. The way we frame the question about saving can affect how much we keep. Economic theory suggests balancing saving and investment with rational calculations, but animal spirits play a crucial role in making savings decisions. The Save More Tomorrow program increased saving rates by allowing workers to commit to saving more of future earnings. People early in their careers struggle to envision their retirement needs, making it imperative to reframe saving goals to encourage greater saving. The power of animal spirits. The efficient market theory implies that people make logical decisions based on stock data and prices adjust accordingly. However, belief, confidence, excitement, and stories of identity have a more significant influence in the market. Animal spirits drive investors' behavior, affecting stock prices, and create opportunities for success or failure. Kaiser Argentina's labor strife is an example of animal spirits driven by stories of corruption and exploitation. In contrast, Toyota's success is due to embracing Japanese animal spirits through stories of identity, confidence, and belonging. Animal spirits' impact in the market is critical, and understanding them is essential to make informed investment decisions. The misleading facade of real estate. Real estate's supposed reputation as a lucrative investment is built on false narratives and the misconception of financial gains. The 90s stock market crash spurred a shift towards real estate, and the trend was further fueled by the notion of making quick profits through flipping properties. Additionally, political leaders endorsed the subprime lending boom to facilitate home ownership for marginalized communities. These factors gave rise to an inflated perception of real estate, which ultimately resulted in the 2008 economic crisis. America's diverse narratives. Whites and minorities have different narratives of America. While whites see it as a fair competition, the minority population views it as an unfair, white-dominated system. This perception makes it difficult for minorities to work within it. Affirmative action is a way to address this unfairness and instill hope in minorities for a fairer system. Robert Shiller's book, Animal Spirits, argues that conventional economics cannot address major economic challenges like the 2008 to 2009 crisis because it disregards the role of stories and perceptions of fairness, which are crucial in understanding the crisis.
In conclusion, Animal Spirits demonstrates that the economy is significantly influenced by a constellation of seemingly irrational factors, such as emotions, beliefs, and stories. Through various real-world examples, GeorgeAAkerlof has shown how these so-called animal spirits drive decisions and contribute to major economic events, debunking the idea that rational self-interest governs economic performance. Ultimately, this compelling narrative provides a comprehensive understanding of how our economy is influenced by factors beyond conventional considerations, emphasizing the need to recognize and acknowledge the role human psychology plays in the complex world of economics.